Have you ever imagined a road slicing through the clouds in southern France, where one structure turned that impossible idea into reality? The Millau Viaduct, an engineering masterpiece, held the world record as the tallest bridge for more than 2 long decades. Its highest tower, reaching 343 meters, is nearly 19 meters taller than the world-famous, iconic Eiffel Tower. Before 2004, the Tarn Valley was a nightmare, with traffic jams stretching up to 20 kilometers during peak seasons. To solve this century-long bottleneck, engineers spent 13 long years just proving that this massive project was actually possible. The vision of Michel Virlogeau and Norman Foster created a 2,460-meter ribbon of steel across the valley. It floats majestically above a landscape that once trapped thousands of vehicles every single day during the busy holiday seasons. But how do you move 36,000 tons of steel 270 meters above the ground with millimeter precision? Today, we explore one of the greatest engineering feats ever built. So get ready to step into the sky at Millau. There are structures built for service, and there are structures built to prove that limits are merely a concept. The Millau Viaduct belongs to the latter, with mass peaks at 343 meters, setting the record for France's tallest structure. It even surpasses the Eiffel Tower by 19 meters and held the world record for over 2 long decades. Throughout that time, no other bridge in the world dared to stand taller than this immensely magnificent icon. But those massive figures are still not the most impressive thing about this great architectural masterpiece of mankind. The most impressive thing is what you see on foggy mornings, completely blanketing the beautiful Tarn Valley below. When the mist obscures the view, the giant pillars disappear, leaving only the road deck floating in the vast atmosphere. At an elevation of 270 meters, the road seems made of clouds, floating gently across the sky. No photograph can fully capture that feeling, but behind that surreal beauty lies a very intentional design decision. People often think a bridge must be straight, but this Millau masterpiece is curved into an incredibly graceful line. With a radius of up to 20 kilometers, this curve helps open up a panoramic view for every driver passing through. It simultaneously creates a sense of psychological safety for anyone traveling at such a dizzying and immense height. Beauty and safety are not contradictory, but to create that wonder required a monumental and epic technical battle. That beauty was created by one of the boldest technical feats in the entire history of modern construction. Instead of using cranes suspended over the abyss, the engineers chose a path that no one had ever dared to try. They assembled the 36,000-ton steel deck on land, then used a hydraulic system to gradually push it out. Every millimeter of movement was controlled by satellite until the moment the two bridge ends met perfectly in midair. But successfully connecting those two giant steel ends was only solving one half of this complex problem. The other half of the problem is what lies right beneath the wheels every time you drive directly across this bridge. The giant steel beams contract in the freezing cold and expand under the summer sun. A relentless cycle for decades. No ordinary type of asphalt has the capacity to withstand the harshness of this transformational cycle. Therefore, the engineers spent nearly 3 years of meticulous research to create a type of asphalt that had never existed. The material is flexible enough to expand with the steel frame, yet hard enough to bear thousands of heavy trucks without cracking. Yet even the most perfect materials need to be observed and listened to carefully by humans every single day. Because the Millau Viaduct was not just built to stand firm, it was born to recognize itself standing firm. The entire structure is covered by a dense network of sensors, from pressure gauges and accelerometers to fiber optics. The system continuously monitors every small vibration, every gust of wind, and every temperature change in real time. The bridge is now like a true living organism. It is always awake and constantly listening to itself. To achieve this feat, people had to fight an enemy more persistent than engineering: time and skepticism. That skepticism was not without reason. as the problem Millau had to solve was not merely a technical issue, it was a nightmare that lasted for decades for this entire region before the bridge made its grand appearance. Every summer, as crowds flocked to southern France, the small town of Millau transformed into a total traffic hell. Lines of cars stretched up to 20 kilometers, leaving tourists trapped for hours amidst the sweltering and intense heat. The town of Millau did not need another ordinary road. It truly required a completely new escape route for itself, and experts had begun thinking about that possibility long before it actually became a tangible and concrete reality. Since 1987, scientists began quietly studying every geological layer deep beneath the floor of the valley. They measured each strong wind current and simulated every load scenario using immensely complex and advanced mathematical models. No one knew for sure if this was feasible, yet those dedicated engineers still firmly decided to move forward. After more than a decade existing only on blueprints, the first hammer blows finally rang out on Larzac Plateau. But even at that bustling, groundbreaking moment, not everyone believed that this was the most correct and wise decision. Environmental organizations voiced their opposition, fearing the negative impacts on the delicate ecosystem of the pristine valley. Economists were skeptical about financial feasibility, while experts debated the structural safety of the entire massive construction. But those behind the giant project never backed down. They chose to listen, adjust, and continue their long journey. They understood that every great work must overcome doubt before receiving the final recognition and praise of the world. And when the Millau Viaduct was officially inaugurated, the world recognized it in a way that no one could expect. The world recognized it, not just with praise, but through numbers that speak for themselves. Immediately after inauguration, the Paris-Spain artery was shortened by at least 1 hour of travel time. 1 hour may seem small, but multiplied by millions of vehicles annually, it is a total logistics revolution. Millau town, once cursed by traffic congestion, suddenly became a famous and popular tourist destination. People now stop by intentionally, not because of traffic jams, but to see the cloud-touching bridge with their own eyes. But the immense attraction of the Millau Viaduct does not stop only at the physical roads. It spread to screens and popular culture in a way that no advertising campaign could ever hope to buy. Top Gear, the world's most prestigious car show, chose the Millau Viaduct as the backdrop for its most beautiful scenes. Mr. Bean's Holiday brought the bridge to the big screen in front of millions of global viewers. From video games to architecture magazines, from living room posters to computer wallpapers, it became a true cultural icon. Not because it was orchestrated, but because it was worthy. Behind that icon are two men who made history. That is Michel Virlogeau, the French structural engineer who calculated every tension and load point on the cable-stayed system, and Norman Foster, the British architect who breathed a sophisticated aesthetic soul into those dry, cold numbers, to the point that the bridge looks more like a giant sculpture than a mere transportation structure. Two nations, two schools of thought, one masterpiece. The Millau Viaduct is not just the greatest bridge of the century, it's a reminder that when engineering and art join hands, humanity can build even its wildest dreams. From its first foundations in 2001 to its early completion, the Millau Viaduct is more than just a highway. It is a symbol of human persistence, standing strong against winds reaching 200 kilometers per hour and the unpredictable behavior of steel. Every detail matters, from the gentle curve designed to ease drivers' minds to the surreal image of a bridge floating above clouds. With a lifespan of over 120 years, it connects not only two plateaus, but imagination and our very reality. So would you dare to drive across it? Please share your thoughts below and follow us for more incredible journeys today.